Guild Wars is having a comeback. Again, I know this is like the third time this year it's having a comeback, but that's good. The game's good and fun, and it's free. You should try it if you haven't. Kind of fun.
The latest expansion for Guild Wars 2 has arrived. Explore a vast, vibrant new region teeming with ancient secrets and forgotten civilizations.
And play with spears. Finally, the weapon of the gods, spears.
Encounter exotic creatures, master challenging new gameplay mechanics, and forge alliances with the Janthier people as you uncover the mysteries that lie hidden within this wild frontier. If you're new to Guild Wars 2, this game is a free-to-start MMORPG focused on gameplay that respects the player's time with the account-wide unlocks for many of its.
As time passes, you're gonna buy the game, obviously, and I think it's expansions, but hey, you're gonna enjoy this for free for a long time until you finally decide it's time to buy it. So it is definitely worth it if you're looking for an MMORPG to play.
Its features. Janthier Wilds, the newest expansion to Guild Wars 2, which is available right now, is the 5th expansion that brings players to the Fable Isles of Janthier in pursuit of adventure and rewarding new experiences. This region has been highly anticipated and has been too dangerous to navigate until now, and as you journey, you will learn to wield a spear in combat on the land, encounter new allies like the lowland Kodan, build a
Literally 40s, by the way. Yes, 40 bad people, but they're acceptable 40 kinda.
homestead for yourself, and learn more about the mysteries of Tyria's past. Janthier Wilds will continue the successful expansion model introduced with the Secrets of the Obscure, with quarterly content releases across the span of a year. For the first time in Guild Wars 2 history, a new weapon type will be introduced for land combat, the two-handed spear, which we'll talk more about in a bit, but initially designed exclusively for underwater combat, Guild Wars 2 Janthier Wilds will allow players to freely swap between the aquatic and the terrestrial weapon slots, each with unique weapons
Ooh, terrestrial, though. Those are fancy words.
skills. Your adventures in Guild Wars 2 Janthier Wilds will lead you to your own homestead, which is an account-wide personal instance with a structure and land for you to decorate and cultivate. But more
And knowing the Guild Wars player base, this is literally something that they are absolutely wit about. Because if you're playing Guild Wars, you're all about this horizontal progression, because Guild Wars is only horizontal progression, by the way. Every armor set that you unlock in the endgame is always going to be exactly that good.
More on that in just a bit. Now, mounts are also one of the strongest and most acclaimed gameplay features of Guild Wars 2, and this expansion brings an updated Warclaw acquisition method and its own mastery line. Thanks
By the way, this is literally dragon flying because of World of Warcraft stole dragon flying from Guild Wars.
to Guild Wars 2 for sponsoring today's video. Click the link in the description to learn more and start your adventure today. But let's dig a bit deeper. The Janthier Isles have been central to a lot of speculation since the original Guild Wars, and now we finally have the opportunity to explore this region. The expansion storyline.
By the way, this game is, I don't know how many years old. 20-ish at this point? Close to that at the bare minimum, I think, honestly. It does look a little bit outdated when you're looking at it like this, but trust me, when you start playing, obviously, you don't care any longer.
Will be told to us over the course of a year with fresh
And Guild Wars 3 is also being developed, as much as I have heard, or something along those lines.
new content being dropped in the form of quarterly updates, like I mentioned before. I actually like this approach a lot, as it allows for a more gradual experience, and you'll have the time to fully explore each new edition before moving on to the next. In the new expansion, you'll encounter a new faction named the Lowland Kodan. Now, the Kodan are not just fluffy characters. These guys are extremely skilled warriors and guides who help navigate the areas of Janthier. This expansion also continues the tradition of offering new and unique gameplay experiences. From the launch of the expansion to the final content updates, we can expect new maps, storylines, and challenges. So this expansion is
One of the things that people don't talk about Guild Wars is that the story is actually pretty decent, and you can play it for the story. It is not bad at all.
isn't just going to be a one and done experience. What I appreciate the most is whether you're a new player or a veteran of Guild Wars 2, Janthier Wilds offers something new for everyone. But by far the feature that I'm most excited about is the addition of the brand new weapon type, the two-handed spear, specifically the two-handed land spear. Now, for those of you that don't know, the spears previously were used for underwater combat only, but this
Underwater combat. A thing Guild Wars kind of has, It's unique, it's special, but no one likes and everyone tries to avoid because underwater anything is pretty bad in general.
Expansion, we are finally able to use the two-handed spear for land combat. Now, every profession in Guild Wars 2 will have its own unique set of skills for the spear, allowing for a wide variety of playstyles and strats. Now, some players will use...
Obviously, what he's talking about is every class can pretty much almost use all the weapons. You know, there are exceptions, obviously, but, you know, if you're a mage, Mesmer, AK, you can use a greatsword, but you're not using the greatsword as a melee weapon, you're using it as a ranged weapon, if you did not know. So, every class, if they use the same weapon, they have a different rotation, different skill set for this. And this is one of Guild Wars' coolest, but sadly weakest parts of the game, because it's very fun at the start, but very quickly you understand, wait a minute, this is what I'm gonna play, and then there's not a lot of reason to honestly switch your playstyle too much in most situations. So that is kind of a minus, but it's not the end of the world. I think Guild Wars would see a huge resurgence if they did two things. One, remake the skill system that you can mix and match between weapon skills way more easily, because that would allow so much versatility, or at least introduce like a whole bunch of new skills for every weapon. Now, I admittedly do think that at some point that they have to do it, right? It's been years. They have to make it that you can, that you have, you know, you equip a pistol and then you equip a offhand pistol, and your initial 5 buttons that you press can be rotated out with different options. Currently, that is not a thing that happens, but they have to do it at some point. If they do that, people are going to love Guild Wars so much more, because it's going to be, well, technically it's going to be a lot more complex than it already is, and there are some classes that are already ridiculously complex with what you have to do with them. But that would be a crazy addition. And the second one is update the engine, because, again, it is showing. It is on Anarchy Online level of graphics at this point, it feels like. Admittedly, you can get used to it, but, you know, the more good things, the better.
The spear as a melee weapon, delivering devastating attacks up close, while others will back up a bit and use the spear as a throwable. There's a ton of flexibility to the spear combat, so definitely try things out. Now, one of the key differences of the spear in Janthier Wilds is that players will be able to freely swap between the aquatic and the terrestrial weapon slots, each with their own set of skills, allowing for seamless transitions between different combat environments, making the spear almost a must-use weapon. Now, to fully master the spear, the Lowland Kodan will teach us techniques required to wield the weapon effectively, but that's not to mention the other customization options. Any spear skin that you've unlocked in your wardrobe can also be used for land and underwater combat, which means you'll get a consistent and personalized look across the different environments. But lucky for us, that's not even the start of it. In the new expansion, it will introduce the homesteads into the game, which are effectively new player housing, which enables players to build and customize their own personal space within the game. So unlike traditional MMO housing systems, which typically involve lotteries, land grabs, and ongoing fees, the homesteads in Guild Wars 2 Janthier Wilds are built to be accessible and friendly to the player. Every player will be able to build and design their own homestead without the need to compete for the land. Homesteads are also account-wide instances that you can access with any of your other characters. Each homestead comes with a plot of land with a permanent structure that is customizable and will be expanded as you progress through the game. You can decorate both the interior and exterior of your homestead with a wide variety of items. Many of these items can be crafted through the new personal scribing crafting discipline, which this new discipline allows for us to create unique decorations that add a bit of home to the homestead. In addition to giving players a space for them to call home, the homesteads also offer a variety of interactive features. For instance, players can plant gardens, put harvesting nodes, and even raise animals. There's also fishing, swimming, and other activities with the homestead. And if you're a pet lover, homesteads are the perfect place to watch your pets do, well, pet things. And we can't forget about mounts. Now, these are another key feature of the homestead that allows you to interact with your mounts. And finally, your alternate characters. Your other characters can appear in your homestead, making it really feel like this is your home in Guild Wars 2 Janthier Wilds. Now, another feature of the Janthier Wilds expansion is the Warclaw mount, which was originally introduced as a world versus world mount. The Warclaw is a highly mobile creature that is great at both combat and for exploration. In this new expansion, you'll have the ability to tame the Warclaw, as well as train a new mastery line that will make the PvE abilities a lot better. The Warclaw is known for its agility and precise movements, making it an incredible companion for traversing the terrain of Janthier. But in addition to its mobility, the Warclaw has some insane combat abilities, which, as I said, can be further enhanced through the new mastery line. And for players who own the Heart of Thorns or the Path of Fire, the Warclaw mount will be automatically unlocked, making it accessible to a lot of players. So following the launch of the new expansion, as well as the other major releases, it will include a Wizard's Vault seasonal refresh that introduces new objectives and rewards.
No idea what is a Wizard's Vault, by the way. Again, kind of casual. Guild Wars 2 play it. Haven't even leveled to the maximum yet. I have a friend who's just passively leveling every class to the maximum, and he really enjoys it. But you know, I'm not a full-blown Guild Wars 2 Andy. But again, I like the game. It's fun to play time to time.
At the launch, you will be able to work towards the 2 new armor and weapon sets, as well as several other cosmetic rewards. The devs then said that more cosmetics will be available in the following major releases, including the Legendary Spear and the Legendary Backpack. The Wizard's Vault offers a ton of different rewards, including crafting materials, currencies, and other valuable items that will help you progress through the expansion. So if you're looking to make your character's appearance look better or just even improve the combat abilities, the Wizard's Vault has something for everyone. The system is also designed to be super player friendly.
Okay, listen, if you haven't played Guild Wars, don't worry about all of this. You're literally never gonna get to it, because first you gotta do a bunch of other things, okay? Guild Wars is a game, if you're a completionist, you can play this game for a long time. Every map can be 100%ed. All the quests, all the side quests, all the vistas, all the explorable locations, everything. It is insane.
With objectives that can be completed at your own pace, so don't feel the need to be rushed. You will have the opportunity to...
Guild Wars 2 is definitely a game that is almost made for the completionists.
To earn the rewards as you want. But on top of the homesteads as well as the Wizard's Vaults, there is the new raids. Janthier Wilds continues the Guild Wars 2 tradition of offering challenging...
By the way, this is a Mesmer. Yeah. Melee spear for Mesmers, eh? Mesmers summon illusions of themselves in a lot of instances. Very annoying in PvP.
In group content that are tests of skills and...
Because if you haven't played it, you're just gonna lose track of which is the real character. You're gonna be like, oh well, what do I do now?
Teamwork for even the best players. Janthier Wilds introduces a new raid, which is currently set to release in November of 2024, which will feature 3 new encounters that tie into the storyline of the expansion. The raid will also be available in both the classic 10-player instance and a large-scale open-world event, which will give players the options to engage with the raid. Like with other MMOs, raids in Guild Wars 2 are known for their mechanics and difficult encounters. I'm really hyped to give this raid a try once it drops. But on top of that, in early 2025, the raid will also get additional content with a new challenge mode and a legendary challenge mode. These modes are designed for Guild Wars 2 players who want the ultimate test of skill and strength with
yeah, some Guild Wars raids are not exactly easy.
Increased difficulty and even better rewards. Now, the final major release for Janthier Wilds will introduce a new Fractal dungeon with its own challenge mode as well. Fractals are a core aspect of Guild Wars 2 in-game content, which are essentially a series of difficult dungeons that get increasingly difficult, that are able to be completed with small groups of players. Guild Wars 2 is not just a game, it is a beautiful world where the choices that you make matter and your story is told based on the decisions you make. From the start of the game, you will have the freedom to shape the narrative, choosing whatever path for your character that you choose. Honestly, the sense of agency is a strength of this game, and for new players, Guild Wars 2 offers a lot of resources to help you get started, so don't hesitate to look things up if you're kind of struggling. They also have an official wiki, so you can go to there and just learn all about this game. Janthier Wilds expansion has been quite a relaxing experience for me over the last few days, so if you're looking for a game to play, give...
The questing in this game is also pretty dynamic. You're not gonna... If you're leveling one character and then you level another in the same zone, you're gonna be doing some of the same stuff, but you have many of the options to, you know, do different kind of stuff, to approach things from a different angle and whatnot. It's pretty cool in that sense. You can go through a zone and one time you don't even go to a place because you kind of just skip it because that's how things kind of play out. It's really good. And the mounts in this game, man, they're really fun, okay? The Raptor mount, when you first get it, it's instantaneously speedy. You can feel the speed, you can jump. Oh man, it's a really good experience. I like Guild Wars.
Guild Wars 2 Janthir Wild a try. Click the link in the description to get started, and thank you again to Guild Wars 2 for sponsoring today's video. I've really enjoyed it. The home...
I wasn't sponsored. Guild Wars, I'll chill for you without any problems. I like the game. Anyway, that was Vis Nemo, 10 out of 10. Bye!